Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kyle from Deep Space Games, and I'm here to teach you how to bring sounds into Unreal, because it's more difficult than you think. In the recent game jam, I attempted to do this, and apparently the wave files that I was using were 24-bit instead of 16-bit, which they rightfully should have been. So, to save anybody out there a lot of time in figuring stuff out, I am going to walk you through it. So, down here, we got Audacity, which, if you've never used Audacity, then you've been living under a rock, because it's free. It's open source. It's a bad mambo jamba. So, yeah, go get Audacity, and it'll make your life that much easier. So if you look here in Unreal, we got a basic scene, which I helped set up before. I'm too lazy. I don't want to create a new scene. Don't ask me why. Laziness, most likely. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle that back down. Actually, what we're going to do is take this final clapping, which I've converted these other two already to the beautiful 16-bit, but this final clapping is still 24-bit. Even though it's a WAV file, it does not have the right amount of bits. And you can see that, because if you try to drag it over into your project, failed to import. Failed to import. Well, good to know. Good to know. So let's go ahead and open up Audacity. Just opening it on up. Drag over our final clapping. For some reason, it always shows me this, and I never want to see this again. So I'm going to click that button. Alright. Let's take this and export audio. Let's hit save. Okay. And now you can see we got two. Well, which one's the old one? Well, it adds this -old1, so you can see that this was the original. This is the new one. You can also tell down here by the size, the 24-bit is always going to be bigger. So we'll take that and delete a Rooney and exit this out. And alright, let's go ahead and drag these over. I did convert these other two because they were also 24-bit. It seems the new standard for a lot of the different audio websites where you download songs from. So let's go ahead and copy and paste those in there. And hopefully they don't waste our whole day. Alright. Expand our Unreal like we expand our minds. And now we got three different pieces of music. We have an ambient music, which is a beautiful sound of the forest. Let them serenade over you as they engulf you in their forestry delights. We got clapping, which is a sound that we're going to trigger. And now we have some dramatic thriller chase music. Yes, I feel it. I feel the dramatic tension in the air. So let us take these, and before I even start pulling them in there and playing them and doing whatever I'm going to do with them, I like to always add them to a queue. And if you're new to Unreal, you might be asking me, what is a sound cue? Well, my good friend, I am glad you asked. And if you see here, oh, we're seeing a familiar screen. Some kind of node-based action is going on. Let us take this, and we can see when you click on the output, here's the input, which is a reference to that dramatic thriller chase song. And then here's the output. And you can see here by the output that we have a bunch of these different options. Now, what we can do is we can add sound classes, which is something a little more advanced. I'm not going to touch on it today, as well as some other stuff that I will not touch at. But what I will do is I will grab this volume multiplier and I will bring it down to 5, because this song is much too loud and it will overwhelm every other sound in there if I let it. So we'll hit save, 0.5. Okay, there's one sound cue, done a Rooney. And let's just go ahead and create these sound cues just haphazardly. No volume control, no nothing. Actually, this one is kind of quiet if I do recall, so I am going to bump this up to maybe just go 1. We'll see where it's at. Now, there's no limit here to the multiplier. Basically what this does is if you set it to 1, it's just setting it to 1, and everything else is going to be relative scale to it. But if you set it to 2, it's going to obviously boost it with some gain, I assume, and or make everything else quieter. So all this is just relative to how loud it is. Let's go ahead and start putting stuff out there. So we can come up to our blueprints, and let's say we open our level blueprint, and you can do it this way. You don't have to. I've seen people do it many ways. What we're going to do is we want to do play sound, and we're going to go 2D, because music should never be hooked up to 3D unless you're doing some kind of crazy Fallout live radio thing that's right by you that interferes with the regular radio, that you're like, oh, why'd someone put that there? But they did, to wreck your day. So let's go ahead and put our dramatic thriller music in there. And obviously, because the whole environment is some kind of whimsical forest, we will also drag our forest sound in there, but I guess we're not, because we're just going to copy and paste it. Much easier. And here we go, our ambient sounds, our music. So now let's hear them when we're playing the game, which is, if you remember before, it's just a cube. See? Yeah. Alright. Now, that forest ambient is still much too quiet, and the dramatic thriller chase is still a little bit on the loud side, depending on how background you want it. But let's go 0.3 here. Let's go maybe 1.3. And you can see it doesn't matter that I'm going over 1, because it's just going to keep adding gain. So, and then we could change the pitch if you want to. Well, maybe we'll mess around with that in the next one. The next playthrough. You get the dramatic chase, you get the birds. Kind of contradictory. Yeah, that is a little weird. Oh well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. Alright, so now we want to utilize this final clapping sound. So I already have this blueprint of this blue one rigged up to change color when you press it. Right here in the event graph. So what do we want to do with this? Well, easiest way is when it changes colors, let's play it. So we'll go ahead, we will play our animation, or we'll play we'll play our sound at, should we do a location? Should we get crazy with it? No, we're not going to do that. Only reason being is we're not moving around, so you won't even notice the difference. So, clapping. The clapping cue, and do it when it's pressed. Yes, sir. And hopefully this doesn't repeat itself, but it probably will. So let us push play, see what happens. Dramatic music. We got the ambient music. And now if you push the spacebar. And the award goes to obviously, if you can tell by the sounds, I picked kind of clashing sounds, so I don't know if there's too much we can do to make them go with each other. But if you want, though, we can do some cool stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and come in here to this level blueprint, and I'm gonna take out this dramatic thriller music. I think it's a little too overpowering. And we're gonna come back here, and I'm gonna go ahead and change the pitch on the clapping so it sounds like a bunch of ogres are clapping, maybe. Let's go down to like 2.2. Alright, now I haven't tested any of this, so this could just be really weird, but let's give it a go. Very Path of Exile, right? So let's come back here and actually, yeah, let's just play this sound by itself, see what it sounds like. Oh my goodness, that's eerie. But it was kind of quiet, so let's hit it up to 2. Let's turn it back on and let's see what we got in our creepy ogres marching through a forest kind of sound environment. But alright, yeah, it's kind of cool stuff that you can do. You know, if we set this back to 1, we can always come into the ambient forest here, and we could try this one at a pitch it at 0.3. Make these birds sound a little deeper. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that sounds eerie. This reminds me of Limbo. Like a Limbo, or what's the new Play Dead one? Inside. Going through the forest. You get that creepy undertoned bass hitting, just kind of creeping on you. Oh yeah. words sound all deformed and out to get you, I guess. Cool. Alright, so that's the basics of the sound cue. Alright, that's it for today, and yeah, if you want to see more, you can come to our site, deepspacegames.com. You can also come follow us on Twitter at deepspacegames with a Z. And that's it for me. Peace out.